before we get to the interview, I'd like to say thank you to you guys. Yes, without your support, this channel wouldn't be where it was now. I have reached 6k subs thanks to you. And I'd like to say thank you very, very much, because it really means a lot. It really means a lot. I'm not crying. I'm just haven't woken up for that long. You make the channel how it is, or something, if that makes sense. And I think without being I'm not sure how it would have changed if I didn't come a Brony. I wouldn't be doing an interview with Ellen Ray, for example. In fact, I might be stuck in this bloody bedroom without me doing anything. But being a Brony, it made me explore new possibilities in life. Like going on the airplane for the first time. Meeting Ellen Ray Hennessy at Griffith Isles. And today we're going to interview her. Today. Yes, we're going to interview her today. It's going to be an exciting time. Hopefully I can do more in the future, but today it's Miss Main's turn to shine, to spread her magical love, if that's even a thing. Now, let's get on to the interview. Oh, yes. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this.
You're welcome. I almost forgot. I did. I just came back from camping and I was like, oh. Colin had to tell me, don't forget. And I went, oh, So here I am, picking my nose for your benefit. How's Jessie?
Jessie's fine, actually. Jessie's fine. She's coming on Friday, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, let's get this interview started. What made you audition for the character, Miss Main?
What made me audition for the character of Miss Main? Well, darling, I think I've told a bunch of ponies this, but my best friend in Vancouver, Tabitha St. Germain, who plays a myriad of characters, wonderful ponies all. She plays Luna and Derpy and Rarity, of course, you know, so she would always come home from conventions with spectacular gifts and pictures and stories of, you know, people in cosplay as ponies. And I was like, what is this? What is happening? I have no idea. What is this? And she'd say, this is My Little Pony. I'd go, My Little what? She said, My Little Pony. Now, I don't remember that show, and I've done a lot of shows, but it's recorded in Vancouver, and I don't live in Vancouver, so I didn't record there. And I went, and she said, here's my character, and she had all kinds of plushies, all kinds of little beautiful rarities and derpies and lunas, and I was like, oh my goodness, that is the most spectacular thing I've ever seen. And then, you know, she would do videos of her and I, and people on Twitter would be like, they became my friend too, just because I was friends with Tabitha, our Rarity, our dear Rarity. And so I said, I want to be on that show. So I'll tell you something, Mark. What I do when I want to give myself to the world is I have what I call a vision board, and I put things on my vision board that I want to be a part of so that I can storytell with the world. And so I put My Little Pony and a picture of Rarity on my vision board. And all of a sudden, when I was in Vancouver, because I've done other shows in Vancouver, I got an audition for My Little Pony, and I just about had a heart attack. I went, come on, seriously? And I auditioned for Madge Meadowbrook, for Miss Main, and one of the other pillars that I can't recall at this point who it was, but I got a call back. And then, of course, you know, as history shows, I was cast as Miss Main. But I also, from that audition, Terry, the director of My Little Pony in Canada, he he cast me as a couple of changelings into Change a Changeling as well, because he just liked me so much, and he said, "Oh, I love her," and the rest is history. I got to play Mistmane, and as you all know, who introduced Mistmane in Campfire Tales?
Yeah. And I think the changeling represents your real life character as well.
Well, but it was Rarity who said her favorite pillar, like her favorite legend, was Mistmane. So my best friend got to introduce me in Campfire Tales as Mistmane. I just find it all very serendipitous and phenomenal. There's the magic that my friend is my friend in My Little Pony.
I love Rarity when she did the hand puppets on the wall.
Was the shadow play on the wall?
Yeah.
Well, that's how Mistmane first appeared, as a shadow, right? Which was so fantastic. It was just, I loved it. I loved everything about Campfire Tales. I think it was just a spectacular episode. And of course, at the end of season 7, they all come back to save the day. All the pillars, go to Ponehenge and create the magic. It was a spectacular. I love it.
Or he went back to Manhattan as well. That was a good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
How was your experience in the studio?
Well, always, the one thing about My Little Pony is it's a magical experience in the studio, because actually, the only reason that we open our mouths at a microphone to speak at all is because of every pony. It's the fandom. That's the only reason we open our mouths to speak, is every single pony worldwide that supports this huge story of ponies. That's what makes the experience in the studio so spectacular, because every fandom I've gone to and every convention, you see the magic. So when you get to the studio, and I saw the magic with all the support and the gifts and the letters and the outpouring of love, it's like a fandom like no other. So when you go to the studio, the experience in studio is magical, because they do what's called an ensemble, Mark. And an ensemble record is when all of the characters are there. So the only characters that aren't there are either somebody like Tara Strong, who's in Los Angeles, and she will then send in her record later. But you get to be with every pony, and you go in for 4 hours, and it is so exciting, because in Toronto, we don't usually do ensemble. It's very rare to have the whole cast in there for 4 hours doing a major episode. And if you know, I got to experience the Wish. So when they give a children the Wish Foundation.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to record with a child whose wish, a sick child, whose wish was to come to a record of My Little Pony. So I also had that added extra in one of the several records that I've done. I've done a few. And that just made it all the more special, because they got to direct us in the episode. So Terry said, "Would you like to direct the ponies?" And the boy that we had for our Wish Foundation was so excited. And they also let the Wish Foundation, and Terry, of course, and the writers say, "Why don't you do this line for the show?" And they'll come in and be able to be a voice of an ensemble record of My Little Pony. Yeah. So it's a wonderful experience. And then we go out for lunch afterwards, and it's just magnificent. So the recording process is always fun in every show that you do, but My Little Pony, because Mischief, we get up to Mischief in the records, and Tabitha is mischievous, and she makes everybody laugh in the records. So that's what makes it special for me.
Okay. Why does Mistmane have flowing hair?
Because she's magic.
Like Celestia?
Yes, exactly. She's a legend. She's a pillar. And look at her mane is eternal.
Was she born like it?
Yes, she was. Of course she was. And don't forget, how old is she?
I don't know, because
she's infinite.
Yeah.
So there's a reason that we don't see her beginning. We know that she went to magic school and was the most magical, most beautiful pony before she gave her beauty away. And you never see her as a little pony.
No.
You only see her as, going to magic school and learning all of her magic and being the most magical pony. And you notice her unicorn horn is curved like the pillars, and her mane, like Celestia, floats.
Yeah.
It's like a mist, so it's like mists of Avalon. She's got special powers.
Okay. What got you interested and started in as a voice actor?
Well, maybe you've noticed I can never shut up. I talk and talk and talk, and you've got to shut me up for the most part. And that was since I was born. I came out screaming. When I was born, I came out screaming, and I think I've screamed since then for a long, long time. Voice acting is an extension of storytelling, so I do film and television and theater and radio commercials and television commercials. So voice acting for animation is just an extension of storytelling, and I think I've been a storyteller for many, many millenniums. I think it's been something that I've done for a long, long time, before this lifetime even.
Has it always been your ambition to be a voice actor or an actor?
I wanted to be many, many, many things, and I still want to try and do as many things as I can in a lifetime. But for me, acting, I wanted to be a veterinarian. I wanted to be a marine biologist. I wanted to be a compassionate caregiver in other countries where, I would volunteer my services and go work with the poor and the sick in other countries. And I feel like voice acting is an extension of that anyway. The stories that we tell are healing. They bring people together. We celebrate our stories. We need stories. I feel like we, as a people, and every pony longs to sit around fires, singing and dancing and sharing fable. That's what we long to do. But I feel like the digital world has sort of pulled us away from one another, where we become singular and alone. And the thing that these stories do, which is what I love, and I think I've understood this from a very young age, is it brings us together, and it gives us a family and something that we can partake in together, which is important for humanity, I think.
Right. You done work in acting and television. What's the difference in your preparation for those two?
Well, the wonderful thing about voice acting is you don't have to memorize your script.
Oh, that's good.
So, in film and television and stage work, you have to memorize everything. So preparation is much harder. And also, if you consider, like, theater, for example, you've got to memorize a lot of lines. I've done over 340 stage productions in my career. And that is your live every night. So if you forget a line or you mix up your lines, you've got to self-correct on the fly. It's like if you fumble the ball in football, hopefully somebody else on the team will help you out. So when you're on stage, that happens. But if you're in a record, everybody's got the script, and everybody can read the script. And the job is to make it feel like you've been rehearsing for 4 weeks. It's that spontaneous. It's that alive. And that's the job of the voice actor, is to make it seem like you're just saying it for real for the first time.
Yeah, because you're feeding off the character as well.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So it's harder, I think, for some voice actors to make it seem spontaneous and alive when they're reading, because what happens is sometimes, not in My Little Pony, but in other shows, you can hear that people are reading the lines rather than responding the lines. Whereas, if you're in film and television or even on stage, you've worked the lines, you've rehearsed them over and over, and you don't get that opportunity. Of course, in voice acting, they let you do a pass. And if Terry doesn't like something or he wants to hear something else, he'll redo the take. And he'll say, make it punchier. Put a laugh in there. actually be more excited and confused, and then you'll go back and you'll do it again. So the director's job, I feel, is a little bit harder in voice acting, right? So for me, that's the preparation. It takes longer to prepare for an audition in film or television than it does for, or even when I'm in the recording. I've always got my script there, so it's not, but a lot of younger voice actors tend to want to memorize so they can look at you and not at their script.
Yeah.
You don't want to look at the director. You want to, you want to know your lines.
Yeah. How long did it take you to become with the character?
One with the character?
Yeah.
She found me. So she was already with me way before I auditioned, like I said. I feel like there's something in Miss Maine in me. I don't believe, I try to give away as much love and beauty as I can to every pony, every being. I like to uplift humanity. I love to, I don't believe beauty is important for myself, but for everyone else. And if I can love more, if I can give more, if I can help more, and that's the part of Miss Maine that is a part of me. So when I came to Miss Maine, and I love Miss Maine because it's very close, like Mr. Maine and Miss Maine, right?
Yeah.
And so I always think of her as Miss, like MISS, like she's a Miss and her Maine. And the T is Miss T Maine. And if you break down the word, right? She's a part of me. I have loved ponies my entire life. I have voiced other ponies in other animated series, Corn and Peg, for example. I play pony in that. I've played ponies in several shows, and I think she's always been a part of me. I think I already knew that when I was born, that one day I'd be playing a pony like her, very close to me. So that is me. I am Miss Maine on many levels.
How long did it take you to voice in one episode?
So usually we go in for 4 hours, like I said, March. So it's like you go in the morning, you grab your coffee. Tabitha always brings cookies and cakes for everybody. Take a break. It's a 4-hour record. We never use the entire 4 hours, but we will, because Terry has figured out as he directs the episodes, he spaces it out. So we'll do a pass, we'll take a break, we'll have some cookies and cake that Tabitha's brought, and then we'll go back in and finish up the second half of the episode. So I would say probably about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, but we're scheduled for 4 hours, and most, everyone's so professional, they don't take that much time. And it's a hoot and a holler. It's so much fun. You guys have to all come. Everybody has to come. Come on out. Be a pony.
Alright. How did they come up with Miss Maine's design?
Well, that is, I think, for all of the pillars, you'll look at their designs and they're from different areas of the world. And Miss Maine has a very Asian feel to her.
Yeah.
Doesn't she? Like, you can see that she's got a very Asian flavor to her. So I think they went around and were very specific with what areas of the world they wanted the pillars to be from, so that the pillars covered each of the major continents in a way, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
And I love her design. I think her design is absolutely stunning. I adore it. I love what she's wearing. It's really beautiful. I love her cutie mark, which is almost like an Om sign. I love it. I love everything about her. I love her colors. I love, they're my colors in real life. Like I think I'm wearing blue and green right now and purple pink, which is see?
Yeah.
Here I am. So yeah.
Did you shed a tear when your character had to sacrifice her beauty to save a friend?
No. I shed a tear when my friend had turned to the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
That's when she shed a tear, that her friend could have gotten so selfish and greedy that she had allowed that kind of darkness into her. Just like, when we're saving changelings from going to the dark side, where it doesn't matter who the characters are, we all have to come together when you feel like you want to take from others. I think her sadness lay in the fact when she said, I can't let you do that, to Sable Spirit. Sable Spirit was jealous of her. And I think the big lesson that we shed tears when she came back to her village.
Yeah.
And there was no beauty in it. She had stolen, robbed every pony of every flower, which is why where you see Mist Mane, you know where she has been, because flowers grow behind her. So the thing that she leaves for every pony is the memory that beauty is always with us. You don't have to rob it from everyone else or every pony else. That is what made her heart sink, I believe. And I think, for me, Ellie, I cried just in the story of her sacrificing her own beauty, because I feel like our world isn't quick to do that. I don't feel like we want to sacrifice ourselves to help other people or other ponies. Like, I just feel that is sad. That's a sad making situation. Her beauty was not important to her. It didn't take away her magic. It took her outward beauty, because beauty, we always learn that. It's not about what you sound like. It's not about if you sound old or you age or you lose. You don't look as pretty as everybody else, or you might not be as smart, as happy as everybody else. Her happiness lies in, I believe, the fact that everyone can have beauty. Everyone. And just look for it, because there are ponies that will give it to you. The fandom is full of ponies that will give you beauty, laughter, joy, love, friendship. That's what this fandom's all about. And that's what that story's about. And that's what makes me cry. When I was at Galacon, I wept so hard at the closing ceremonies, because I saw humanity at its very, very best. It was so uplifting and so incredibly powerful to see an entire fandom in one place support the good. So Batman stood up and he couldn't afford the final, the Joker always wins the hat in the charity auction, and he always wins. And this year Batman arrived and kept bidding and bidding, and then he ran out of money, and the entire fandom gave every cent they had. Some people couldn't make it home because they gave all the money to support Batman, and they came, and he then bid on the hat, and the Joker stood up like this with his hand in the air, and we thought he was going to outbid the Batman, and he conceded to Batman. So even the Joker became a hero because he supported the good. And it was such a beautiful thing to see. Every pony in the place was on their feet screaming. And then, of course, right after that, someone proposed to their girlfriend.
Yeah, I saw that little clip.
Yeah, it was so fantastic. And I was crying so hard. So that's what makes me cry. That is what makes Mist Mane cry, is that, the generosity, the love that is given is so overwhelming in this fandom. It's just, I love every pony everywhere. They are not alone. They are not forgotten. They are a part of something very magical and very special, and they've got to know it, because I've seen it and I've felt it so many times.
Have you met Catherine Barr?
Yes, I have.
And she nice?
Of course.
Of course.
What do you think? She's spectacular. She's spectacular. Love her. Everybody. Like, truly. Nice doesn't even cut it. Beyond nice. When did I change my name is what you want to know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't change my name. So my given name is Ellen Ray.
Yeah.
That's my given name. But my nickname that everybody calls me is Ellie Ray.
Yeah.
So everybody calls me Ellie Ray. And so I only use Ellen Ray when I'm in trouble. So if when I was a bad girl when I was little, it would be Ellen Ray. If if my dad was, angry at me for something I'd broken or done something wrong, I'd get Ellen Ray. If I was in school and I was in trouble, Ellen Ray. I get into trouble quite a bit because I was a hyperactive child with autism and I drove everybody crazy. ADHD, and they got angry at me quite a bit. So Ellen Ray is when I'm in trouble. Ellie Ray is when I'm... That's when everybody's being happy with me.
Okay, what's the best joke you can remember?
Okay, are you kidding me?
I know.
The best joke I can remember is pull my finger. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but whoopee cushions and farts will make me laugh every single time. All you have to say to me is pull my finger.
Try not sparkles fall into that trap.
Oh, I'm serious. If you put a whoopee cushion under me, I will laugh. If somebody passes gas in a yoga class, I have to leave the yoga class because I will laugh really hard. I'm all about a fart. I'm all about a fart.
Right. Kelly Stewart wants a shout out.
Kelly Stewart, I love you.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
What would I do for a Klondike bar?
Yeah.
Anything. What would you like me to do?
Spread the love with Miss Maine's love.
Oh, Mark. I will do anything. I'll do anything for a Klondike bar. Anything. Anybody tell me what to do. So all of my ponies everywhere in the world that I adore and I have met and I have cried with and I've held and I've hugged and I've talked to that are sad and alone and feel like they are not heard and not listened to. Yeah. I always say you're not alone. You are loved by me and by every pony that is a voice actor. They do love you. They really do.
I think the challenge would be you should make a video around Christmas time.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
What would you like? What kind of video?
Probably like a little speech of what's the true meaning of Christmas.
What's the true meaning of Christmas? You've got it. You know what that is, because
Yeah.
I believe in Santa Claus because that's the giver, right? That comes and leaves. That's the magic. That is the magic. Where gifts are given and you may not see them, but they're always there and you have to find them under a tree. I can give all kinds of, Christmas is my favorite time. Ask Tabitha. I decorated her house for Christmas last year. In October, I think I did it. Or maybe, I know I did it early because she was at a convention and I decided that I was going to decorate, and I went out and I bought every kind of Christmas ball and decoration, and she came home and she said, "You've gone crazy." And I said, "Yes, I have."
Okay.
If I see her at Christmas, we can do one together.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, you should. Then I can
I'll ask her because she'll do it.
Yeah. Then
because I'll hold her down and I'll make her do it.
Yeah, then I can probably put it on my channel and then it'll be a Christmas message.
Okay, you remind me, Mark, because I'll do it. Yeah. I'll do a Christmas message.
Well, if you could broadcast a message to the world, what would it be?
I'd say, know that you are loved. Know that you are never alone. Even though you may feel that sometimes there is no one there. In the world, it is an energy which is a magical energy that reaches beyond what I call the veil. It's kind of like the mist of the Maine. She reaches beyond the veil. It's like, what is magic? Magic is when you know you're loved beyond what you feel. That you can find a joy inside yourself that is beyond what you feel. Because joy is not outside of you. It's a limitless well inside of you. And when you can touch this fandom, for example, if you can feel that joy, that energy, which is there, and it's never ending, it's eternal, it's supportive. And I know that we struggle in a difficult world that doesn't include us, whether it's financial, whether it's spiritual, whether it's psychological. There's, warfare going on, Mark, where we battle every day, where we will beat ourselves up first rather than support ourselves. And I think what every pony needs to understand is there is a huge, huge net of love surrounding this entire ponydom. And all any pony has to do, all they have to do is reach out and say, hey, hi. I get so many messages from ponies all the time on Twitter saying, bless you, Ellie. I love you, Ellie. You're special, Ellie. You give so much, Ellie. And you know what? They're talking to themselves. They're the ones that are doing it. I get messages all day, every day. Yes, I give messages back, but I get them. I'm loved, and so is every pony. You're loved. If you feel sad or alone or forgotten or depressed or beaten up by the world, reach out. I will follow anyone. Any pony, I'll follow them. And if you're followed, guess what? Love is shared. Never sit in silence. Never sit alone. Never let your own thoughts take control of who you are. Everyone is spectacular. Every pony is magical. Every pony is loved. Every pony is loved. Every pony is beautiful. Every single one. Every single one is required to tell this story. Every single one. That's my message.
Okay, let's diving off. We finished the questions.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah.
All in half an hour.
Yeah, but we could talk about anything now.
What do you want to talk about?
Your previous characters, because I did go on your website. I watched that. I watched your half-an-hour video about how to give love when you're doing voice acting. You're voicing for the love of the character.
Voicing with the heart, yes. Yeah. I've got many, many podcasts that I've done that I usually give when I'm teaching. Oh, I've done hundreds of characters, hundreds from way back in the day. Oh, dear, so many. And everybody, and I forget. Like, I've got someone right now doing a lifetime, I don't know what you'd call it, a demo, I guess, a lifetime demo of the characters that I've done. So I had to go back and look, and I'm missing about 60 characters on IMDb because Canada doesn't do it. The United States will put you on IMDb automatically, but Canada won't, and I don't know why. I don't know why they don't do that. But I have, there's certain Redwall, so many great characters. Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs, Roly Poly Oly, Alf, like older shows. There's so many monsters. Brace Face. There's so many shows that I don't even have them all on my website because looking them up takes a long time. It takes forever. And you want to find those, and then I'll go, is that me? And then I'll listen, I'll go, oh, that's me in that show. Like, you'll find something and go, that's really weird. That's totally crazy. I play a lot of, I think, really charming, funny characters. But like I play dying elephants. I play dying dragons. These are mothers dying at the beginning of movies. And it's really difficult to play. I just played in Tabaluga, a new animated movie that's coming out. She's a dragon, and she's got the egg, her dragon egg, and it's the last egg of its kind, and she's being attacked by the villain, and her husband is already killed trying to protect the egg, and she has been really, really hurt, and she falls to earth with the egg, and she's etching out. I shouldn't be telling this before the movie comes out, but it's very hard to play something that is dying and trying to share love. So in another, I played, not in Babar, what was the other elephant movie? The Mother, the big movie, where she's singing a lullaby to her son as she's dying. It becomes difficult. It's like at the beginning of Finding Nemo when the mother dies with all the eggs and he's the only one left. Or in what is it, Bambi? Who don't know? The mother dies in a bunch of, and you just go, oh, it's so painful and hard to find that in yourself. You know, when your last message before you die is one of love. What does that sound like?
Yeah.
Right? That's, you know, of all the characters that I play, the ones that stay with me, that are memorable, are not the evil characters, although, you know, there's many characters that I've played. I tend to play a lot of monsters and evil people, or aliens or whatnot. I just did a big Ubisoft game that I'm under a non-disclosure agreement on that, but a phenomenal character that everybody will see that is coming out. And she was like Groot. You know, everybody knows who Groot is from, and except she was 5,000 times bigger than Groot, and she ran a spaceship. And it becomes like, what does that sound like? How do you determine what the voice of a huge, huge, huge tree is? What is the voice of a waterfall sound like that is magical? You've got to become the voice of the waterfall, where they've got to pass a test and they come to the waterfall and they've got to guess the riddle in certain, you know, there's so many phenomenal, crazy things. Little thing, you know, I was a lubriderm alligator. What does an alligator sound like who's using skin cream? I don't know. What does bison sound like for Manitoba Telephone? It's a bison, you know. Then you've got to sing songs as crazy characters too. Some are people, some are animals, some are things that you don't even know what they are. I played Schmanky Desu, was a sushi piece. What does a sushi piece sound like? And she ate bubblegum off the street and saved her toenail clippings in her wallet. So, you know, there are so many crazy, wonderful, wild, weird, fantastical creatures that we play in this job that we do. And it becomes spectacular because you get to explore that part of yourself that is the magical part of storytelling, I think.
Well, according to IB, the first thing is the Care Bears.
Care Bears, oh yeah, nighttime bear. Little yawny bear, slept all the time.
Oh.
Couldn't wake up.
How was it, because according to... How was it when you recorded for Due South?
Due South was fun. So every television thing that I've done has been a crazy ride because I play crazy characters on television shows. Due South, I played, I believe she was a waitress, a really quirky waitress in the show. But yeah, I've played so many quirky characters on I've played, you know, psychics, and I've played rich women, and I've played crazy murderous women that have all different, I had my teeth had all different colored elastics all in my teeth with braces, like
the new recent
I played a crow. What's that?
It's like the new TV series recently.
Oh yes, yeah. I did Carter Files. She was a writer. She was had written a famous novel, a novelist that I play, and before that I played a very wealthy woman in a series that was shot in Russia. Yeah. And then I played a psychiatrist in a movie a year ago. She opened the movie. It was called Honey, Red Honey, Blood Honey, I think it was called. I always forget the shows that I've been in because I do them and I never remember that I've been in them. And people have to remind me. They're like, did you play that in Goosebumps? Were you in Goosebumps? And I go, yes, I was in Goosebumps. Yeah. And a follower on Twitter, Troy, who has every Goosebump episode. And he's like, that is my favorite Goosebump episode.
Yeah, and also one of the scariest because you look creepy.
Yeah, it's scary. She was a scary witch, right? Yeah. She was a scary witch. I know. But I'm not scary in real life, I hope. I play a lot of scary characters.
Do you think that...
And I play a lot of nice, loving characters.
What's easy to...
I play loving characters. How can you...
you always enjoy when
Say that again?
you always enjoy when you voicing or doing scary characters?
I love it because listen, the villain doesn't know that they're a villain. They just think that they're a hero. The villain always thinks they're a hero. They don't know any better, right? So it's like, I love the wicked characters just as much as I love the heroes because they are misunderstood. It's like people who behave badly. They've just been misunderstood. Like if you look at the Beast, he behaves badly in Beauty and the Beast, right? He behaves so badly to Belle. But the hero who is Belle, she doesn't go, "Why are you so mean? Why are you so mean?" She doesn't say that. She says, "Why are you so mean?" Because she knows he's not mean. She knows that he's been hurt by somebody. So the hero is always the one who knows that the villain is not really bad. They're just misunderstood. And then, of course, he falls in love with her because she sees he's not bad. And that's what makes storytelling so beautiful, is that the villain can be turned around.
That's like the same
Right?
shit. The same experience with Trixie because she was misunderstood at first.
Yes, totally, exactly.
Yeah.
There's an exact example of exactly what I'm talking about. We've got many examples of that in My Little Pony where the misunderstood, to change a changeling, he's not really terrible. He's just misunderstood. Right?
Yeah.
And we need to look for those people and those ponies in our lives who we might think are being angry or being hurtful. Sometimes they're just acting out and they're misunderstood. Alrighty?
Yes.
And on that note, Mark,
Yeah.
it's 11:11, which is a power number. I'm going to love you, love the ponydom, love the fandom, all of it, every single pony. I need everyone to believe in this friendship and believe in us and believe in the stories we tell and what we give. And I hope to see you all at a convention really soon, maybe in Russia, maybe I've got a whole bunch coming up, and I will hug you and I will hold you and I will show you what love really is, and hopefully we can share the beauty that Miss Maine represents and that I can give as well together.
It's like people love Luna.
All right, my friends? I know.
People love Luna.
All right, darling. People love Luna. People love every pony, and just like I love every pony. And I've got to go to another Skype session now.
Okay, thank you.
Is that all right?
Yeah, right.
Love you.
Thank you very much for this.
Okay, listen. I love you. You are so very welcome. Love to every pony. Love to you. Love to Jessie. And I will see you all very soon.
See you very soon. I love you.
Bye, beautifuls.
Bye.
Bye.